Yo, what's up?
Hey Gary.
Hi man, how you doing?
How's it going?
Good, thanks, yeah.
I'm going to move you down to my other screen, so it looks like I'm looking at you. There you go.
Alright.
So how's it going? Where are you based out of?
Right now I'm in a city called Windheim. So that's in Germany, somewhere near Hanover.
Okay, near Hanover.
Yeah.
We put Hanover, that's easy enough. Cool. Yeah, so thanks for getting on the phone today.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man, that's cool.
Yeah, so would love to tell you a little bit about what Ujo is doing and see where that kind of bounces off your impression of this space. But moreover, kind of just want to emphasize, like, up front, this is an experiment. We just wanted to get in front of our community members who are artists and see what they think about this space and see if what we're doing kind of matches up there, and see if we could get any of your information or something you would want to see how we can prioritize that.
All right.
Cool. Yeah. So I kind of have like a list of questions that I go through. I've only done a few of these to date. So again, it's just an experiment. If you ever want to just take the conversation one way or another, like, let's do it. Let's just talk shit about all this. But at any rate, yeah, just to get some basic information. Hanover. That's helpful. Have people like talk to someone in New Zealand, talk to someone like in Romania, talk to a few people in America. So had quite the wide ranging.
Yeah, you're really busy, man. That's quite amazing that you opened the channel like that. And I thought it would like really explode.
Yeah, no, I did it, and I was like, wow, we should have done this a while ago. Like, I had no idea that this many people wanted to get in touch and talk about what we're doing.
Yeah, definitely, man. It's actually a really good idea. I have to say.
Yeah.
It's kind of like yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna rip through some of these questions real quick, and hopefully they can spawn some conversation. But real quick, just some basic information. How old are you, like, roughly?
I'm 37.
And are you like a full-time musician, or are you fully employed?
Well, I'm self-employed and I have like a media firm, so I do like a lot of sound design and stuff, but I think it's like 40%.
Okay, interesting. Got it. And your familiarity with like this tech, or not necessarily blockchain in specific, but like, are you a developer or?
Yeah, I'm a programmer. Yeah, so I program
Got
PHP, JavaScript.
Got it. Cool. Any other interests outside of music that are relevant?
Not really. I have a kid, so that kind of blew everything up.
Love it. That's awesome.
Now it's just music and work and kid, basically.
Yeah. Well, congrats on doing that. Cool. So yeah, that's it for like the basic information. But this is some more like contextual information relevant to being a musician. When did you start making music, or like playing around with?
I was forced to play saxophone when I was like 5, so I guess that's where it started.
Wow, you're not the only person who said that exact thing.
That's baby boomers, I guess.
It's a theme now. So of the music you still create, if you could put a genre on it, would you, or is it kind of all over the board?
Yeah, it is kind of, but it is like pretty much IDM, new jazz, I guess, would be the genre.
Got it. Cool. And would you say, like, have you released music ever, like, professionally, like with a label, or music that you've like written for someone that they've released?
Well, we have like a label, so I've been kind of releasing my own music, but it's also been released on like compilation stuff from other labels. So.
Got it. Okay.
Just to be fair, it's not just my own releases.
So the question is, like, speaking to a lot of people that, I could be speaking to a 15-year-old who just bought like an instrument package and they've never put anything out online, and then speaking to someone like you who's maybe on the other side of that spectrum, has released a lot of music. So the question I'm trying to gauge here is, like, how much music would you say you've actually like put out, whether for free, for sale, but just like kind of like distributed, I guess, in like hours or minutes or songs, just
I would say like distributed like about 30 songs.
Got it. Yeah, that's good. It's just like a way of quantifying that. And so, do you have like an artist name yourself, or like, are you part of a band, or are you more of just like a producer in the background?
All of the above, I guess. But I have like artist alias that's Leisure B,
Yeah,
and
saw that.
I do most on that. But we also have a band. It's called Monologue,
Uh-huh.
and I'm kind of like we have a singer and piano player, guitarist guy who does like the most composing with that, and I do like the producing in the background, I guess, on that thing.
Got it. Got it.
And plus,
What kind of instruments do you use?
I play guitar and bass myself, and
Okay.
yeah, we use a lot of keyboards and stuff, but that's not really an instrument, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, depending on who you're talking to, right?
And yeah, and a lot of singing, rapping kind of stuff, like everything that fits in.
Oh, cool. Okay. Cool. Cool.
So
Cool.
mostly guitar
And
and bass, I guess, is the main thing.
are the lyrics in German
No,
or
no, English. Yeah.
English?
Yeah.
Okay. That was just out of my own curiosity. Um, okay. So
I'm Dutch, by the
this is
way. Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
So
Okay.
that would
So
be
that
Dutch.
makes sense. Yeah. So it's like the common denominator. So moving over into like these are more questions that would kind of like predicate sort of what a platform looks like in the space. But would you prioritize monetization or gaining an audience?
I would prioritize getting an audience. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, that's what a lot of people say. But yeah, so they're kind of so in a way, these questions are also supposed to like validate a lot of hypotheses we have.
Hmm.
So we want to make like educated decisions.
Exactly. That's good.
Yeah, exactly. We don't want to like build stuff and then people are like, yeah, I
No, it's
don't
better
want
to
to
get
get
some
followers.
statistics first. That's a smart thing to do, definitely.
Yeah. So like in present day, if someone asked if like you were talking to someone, having a beer with them somewhere, and they're like, you seem like a great guy. I'd love to follow like your musical work. Like, where would you tell them to look for you?
Um, I guess on Spotify right now.
Spotify.
Yeah.
Interesting. You like Spotify?
Yeah, I would have said our website, but that kind of like faded off for like about a year ago. So, I mean, the website's still there, but Spotify definitely grew in usability.
So is that for Leisure B?
That's for Leisure B, yeah.
Cool, cool. Um, this is like a big question, but how many music platforms have you used to put your music on for consumers since like 2000? Since like Napster?
We use CD Baby, so they can
Oh,
like
so you're just
distribute everywhere, I guess.
one and everywhere.
Yeah.
Got it. Have you ever used SoundCloud?
We also use SoundCloud, but that's more, yeah, because our philosophy is or my philosophy, I guess, for all the artists on the label is that we release everything for free. You
Yeah.
know, like, and also on SoundCloud we have like full plays and downloads enabled, and on our website as well. But you can also buy it, like you can also buy it on Amazon and stuff.
Yeah. So you like on Bandcamp and as well?
No. That's too much effort to
Okay.
get everything there. I want like one
Yeah.
central place for that. You know,
Yeah, and you don't care to monetize anyway, so
it's not priority. I mean, artists like it, but for me, I kind of like solve that problem. You know, so.
interesting. Do you want to talk more about that and how
uh,
you see you solve that problem?
Yeah, my original intent. I studied music in Holland, and my original intention always has been to like make a lot of money, of course, but do it in such a way that I don't have to beg for assignments. You know, so
Yeah.
I want to have like a product that people buy anyway, and if that's not music, that's okay as long as I can pay my studio with it. You know,
Right.
so I started off programming because of that, and but then because I still am I finished my school and everything, so I do get assignments now and then, and but I only take like the assignments that are like, you know, where I know that the
So
clients are not going to be a pain in the ass. And,
when you say assignments, you're not talking about like a gig. You're talking about like actually like co-writing or producing on a song or
yeah, for example, we had like a video we had to do for THX.
okay, so even more commercial.
Yeah, like as big as it gets. But, yeah,
Yeah. Got it. Got it.
I try to get that market for like what I do in music, because everything below that is just, you know, it's gonna piss me off, I guess.
Yeah. So, so you use CD Baby, and you said that like solves everything you need to do to get your music out there, and it's not redundant. You don't have to like go to multiple places to upload your shit.
Yeah.
Um, but what would be your favorite music sharing app then? Like, would it be Spotify because
That would be Spotify. Yeah.
because the audience is there? Would you say, or what?
Also because the app is good, and for me personally, what I really like about it is that I like Last.fm. That's like, I'm a big fan of that, or this principle, that you just record everything. It's like kind of like a blockchain, I guess, but then not because it's on a central server, but it like keeps track of everything I play, and I really like that concept. I don't know, for if my kid wants to like look what has been listening to like in 30 years or something, I don't know, whatever. Just like to leave a footprint, I guess.
So it's the consumer data and the metrics that like is actually interesting.
Yeah, and so that I get like recommendations for stuff that other people that like the stuff that I like listen to, and that kind of thing is like, I think is really important in an app. And Spotify doesn't have that, but it hooks into Last.fm, or I'm not sure if they have that now, but
Got it. So does that mean that because that's like a more organic way of like discovery, like would you compare that to an alternative to the playlist discovery format of Spotify?
Absolutely, yeah. I think that's like what fails for me in Spotify is like what's missing is
it's like payola. If I want to go that far, are you familiar with payola?
Well, like a dish, or
when people used to pay radio stations to be played.
I'm familiar with the concept, but not in the music business, I have to say. But I knew it's out there somewhere.
Yeah. Right. All right. Yeah. So, not getting too much into that. I've like heard a lot through these discussions that people consider Spotify playlists to be like the present day payola, where it's just like it's not organic curation. It's rather like commercially interested.
Yeah, you can fake it basically. Yeah.
It's like antithetical to organic discovery.
Yeah. Exactly.
But hopefully we can do something about that. Now more to this space. How did you first become aware of blockchain?
Bitcoin, of course. Yeah. I mean, I say of course, but yeah.
Do you remember when that was? Many years ago, or what?
That was about I guess about 3-4 years ago. I'm a bit late.
Yeah, it's about normal. And then blockchain and music. When did you first come across those ideas?
Yeah, with you guys. Yeah. So,
really?
Yeah.
When did you first hear about us?
That was like when I registered for the site. I don't know, like 3 months ago, something like that. A friend of mine said I need to take a look at this, and it's going to be good.
Got it.
The singer of the band, by the way, said that.
Cool. Yeah. So let me just kind of like frame the context of like where we just at and how we got there, right? So we have this like massive set of problems with the supply chain of music because it's traditionally like this very physical way of distributing music, and it was done, rather effectively and kind of ironed out over decades of time. That was all completely disrupted with the digital age, specifically Napster, and like actually having a sufficient, secure way of tracking, distributing, and returning the money flows back to creators for digital files has proved very, very difficult.
Yeah.
And it's proved increasingly difficult in the technical burden as the amount of data has just exploded with the microtransactions of streaming events.
Yeah.
So, at the same time that all of this was happening, blockchain was kind of like this looming solution to all of these problems.
Yeah.
It took a few years to understand, where the certain nuances were and where, maybe a blockchain isn't the most applicable or effective way of solving these problems, but it's a great inspirational tool for these problems and thinking about solutions. So that's kind of what Ujo's been doing over the past few years, is assessing what can we do with the resources we have and what other additional resources do we need to bring in together to solve these four problems. It's like this untimely set of payments, lack of data, this absence of exposure and discovery, that curation we were talking about, but then just simply all the intermediaries. Do you need them in a world where technology can fully automate, like a transaction event?
Yeah, exactly. Probably not. If I look at CD Baby, it takes like 3 months for them to pay me, and they pay a lot less than a normal distributor would do.
Right. Like, what if CD Baby was distributed? Decentralized. It would be really easy. You would get payments immediately. and there probably wouldn't be any fees there, or they would be much less because they're using decentralized technology and they can afford to run their business at a lesser overhead, right? It's
Yeah.
like, it's kind of a no-brainer. So that's kind of the context of like where we're at and how we got here. Um, but some more questions about you. So you have worked with a label. Have you worked with a label with Leisure B?
Yeah. On
Um,
compilation.
so are you registered with the? Are you registered with the publisher?
Yeah. Well, no, I'm registered with the what do you call them? The GEMA.
Oh, the PRO, and they effectively do. Um,
The
is
royalty
it
collector. No, the
Gemma?
GEMA, yeah. GEMA.
GEMMA, right?
1M.
1M. Yeah,
That's like
that's the
ASCAP.
German. Exactly, the PRO or Collecting Society. Um, I guess in the present day of like digital consumption, in your opinion, what are the value propositions for a PRO in a world of digital monetization?
Um, well, I think they've been like obsolete since like at least 2000. So if I think it's about time they get out of the way, really, because I saw this in Holland as well. What they do is because they also promote their own artists. They're also the promoters, and
Mhm.
the board of directors also has like producers in it and stuff. And it's like I said, it's a bit incest-like.
So do the cadences in which you get paid out from these PROs impede upon like your growth, like your career, like your ability to like operate as an artist?
Yeah, partially I decided not to register music I have made because they're gonna, for example, what I mentioned before with the SoundCloud free download thing, we would have to pay them for that, and they would pay me back basically, because I offer free downloads of music that would be registered with them.
Interesting.
So that's also like extremely outdated way of handling things, especially because I want to offer it for free. There might be somewhere in like India, or people might want to listen to my music. I don't know, probably not, but but they should be able to
This
listen to it for free as well. Then I guess And if you have Spotify, then you will pay for listening anyway. So
That's really interesting. You just wanted to put it out for free. You had to pay to do it. It's like,
yeah,
uh,
I mean, I would get it back eventually. Like I don't know, like
yeah,
95% probably, or like 80 to 95%. But still, it's like yeah,
it's just like weird and like archaic, right?
yeah.
Um, so like with the payouts you do receive from Gemma, was there like any transparency and like where the money was coming from and like why you got it?
No, not at all. I also had to call them like a couple of times before they acknowledged that there was like something. I mean, I had payments from the BBC coming in, and they were like, "Yeah, I don't know. You need to call England to solve that."
Oh my god,
Yeah, and I was like, "Excuse me, can I get somebody else on the phone, please? Because this sounds like you don't know what you're doing."
that's a headache.
Yeah, so I kind of tried to get around that as much as possible with buyouts and everything now. So
Yeah, just direct licensing.
yeah.
Yeah. So from I guess this might be a little redundant from what we spoke about earlier, but from your experience, is discovery and curation an obstacle of Leisure B's growth and ability to get traction?
Well, I hope so. Yeah, because
Yeah. So maybe I'll just like rephrase what I heard from you earlier, and you can tell me if it kind of like encapsulates what you said. But basically, um, I guess the mechanisms in which curation exists, or I guess the absence of, is what, if anything, impedes on the traction.
I think so. Yeah. Well, yeah. Just kind of like focuses on a really small group and leaves out the periphery. Yeah. But also, I have to say, like my music is in a category which is not very. I mean, the thing I'm doing with the band is more pop, I guess. But the other stuff is like you have like very little people that listen to that anyway. So.
Yeah, yeah. So you have like a secular group, and you just need to get in front of that.
Yeah. Yeah. If I could somehow reach the, I guess, sound design loving audience, then that would be good.
Yeah, right on, right on. So I just have a few more like kind of wrap up questions for that part of the interview, and then we can take as much time as you'd like to shoot the shit about what Ujo's doing and any of your other interests that we might not have covered. But was the purpose of this interview clear?
Yeah,
Cool. Would you like to do this again? If we have maybe like a product we can put in front of you and we can run it by you, see if you like it, see what you think works and what might not.
definitely. Yeah,
Cool. And if any of your artist friends are interested in this space, would you be willing to refer them?
definitely. I would like try to get all the artists on the label. That's like, I don't know, 15 artists. It's not a really big deal, but still, I would definitely try to convince them to join in. Yeah.
Not looking for artists who have like massive followings. We're just looking for like artists who are passionate about seeing a difference and trying to see like what we can do to make that happen.
All right. Yeah.
And then like any other takeaways from what we've talked about so far?
Takeaways.
Yeah, so like some people are like, I realize that this technology is way over my head, and other people are like, you guys seem like you're doing exactly what you thought you were doing.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, and also I saw that there was like an alternative yesterday, like the Open Music Initiative or something like that.
Yeah, so we're actually members of the Open Music Initiative.
All right.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't get like much info from them. They looked like they were kind of like stuck with that thing they were doing.
Yeah, it's more of like a talking group of different organizations than it is an actual like execution on a product.
All right.
Yeah.
So that's like really impressive, man. You guys are like the only guys who are doing this, and this is, yeah.
Yes and no. So there's several other companies that like some have ICO'd already, and they like talk about doing a lot of this, but we're pretty confident that because we're using technology that we collaborated with in creating and is going to inevitably be imposed upon anyone that wants to work in this space in order for it to be meaningful, because like even if someone wants to do the same thing we're doing, I think what's important is not that we have different business models and we have some sort of competitive edge over one or another, but rather the standards in which we actually like host and hold the actual like metadata and audio files is all completely interoperable and compatible. So it doesn't make sense to continue to fragment, recordings and compositions and like have all this data that doesn't link to anything else. So we've done a lot of work over the past year to make sure that whoever works in this space going forward, including the Open Music Initiative, that we usher in a new set of standards, and whether that be just combining existing standards like PDEX and mapping them to new ones. Just something so that there's no more issues of like collecting royalties and having nowhere to send them, not being able to identify a songwriter on a recording, or all the recordings that map to a composition and so forth. So, like irrespective of what other companies out there are doing, I think we've all established that there's like an underlying thing here that the creator's work needs attention. It needs to be properly managed and not be neglected. So
just like
yeah.
Out of technical interest, do you also plan to like distribute the music via blockchain? Do you also plan to distribute the music via blockchain, or is that just like the transactions and everything?
Yeah. So for what we're doing, we want to basically so for like the stores that we're creating, we're just going to be writing transactions to the blockchain, and the music audio files themselves, if IPFS can support them in that time. So inevitably IPFS will support the ability to host the actual audio files.
Yeah.
And then we separate the metadata itself, link it to the audio files, separate the metadata from the recording and the composition side, and then those are all mapped to the audio files. And then in addition to that, we have like the rights holders that are separated, and like rights splits, value transfers, and then license types will all be separate but all mapped as well. And then those will be mapped to like wallet addresses and like identity solutions.
That's impressive, man. Fuck.
Yeah, so it's like it's definitely a little more robust, and then it's not going to be like a SoundCloud or a Spotify or anything where you just like log in and you have it all right there. But rather, it's like more of like a responsible citizenship, like revolving around intellectual property.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, if you want to do this and you want to register this, like you need to verify who you are by creating a wallet address for yourself,
Exactly.
which we can laterally then like move into some sort of identity solution if we want to integrate that.
And how you guys like? Is that like? Is ASCAP okay with that?
I think they're the lowest hanging fruit in potential to be disrupted. Um, Unfortunately, we don't have the inlines to like collect payments from radio stations or from like major TV networks such as sync licensing. Um, so it's kind of going to be redundant, but like if you need a company to accept reports and then distribute payments based on those reports, that's just redundant to what this technology promises because the reporting and the payments are intrinsic with one another. Like the payment is the report. Like
Yeah.
the payment event is a metric on the report. Like it's just redundant to have to send money to an intermediary to then reallocate where it's going. That's such like an analog.
I completely agree with that, but is that like? Do they agree with that? I'm saying, 'cause for example, if I have like a song registered with the GEMA and somebody can listen to it on your platform, I think they want like a percentage of that somehow.
They do, and they do, and they will. So similar to what Bandcamp does, we can just create a legal agreement that says you're obligated to pay anyone, like say a publisher or a PRO that you're with, if you're going to be collecting payments for this work, and you really have rights to it.
Okay, well, that's good.
So that's what we're exploring right now. Like, how can we put this in front of people tomorrow, so that maybe retroactively, like publishers and performing rights organizations are like, why do you keep sending me these checks? Why do you keep sending me these checks? Like, where are you selling your music and making this money from? Like, so that we can actually start forcing the problem. And then if we can actually like, maybe we don't need a world where PROs exist, but maybe there is a place where they're helpful. Maybe we can create like a dashboard for them to go in, so that rather than like you having to collect money and then pay it to them like off chain and in fiat, they can just get an automated payment as well at the event. Right. So like that would be ideal. If we could just be in the middle automating payments and everything just be fully decentralized.
No, nice man. Well, I'm really impressed. It's really good, and I'm very critical asshole, basically.
yeah. No, I know that we need more cynicism to focus on what we're doing. It's as practical as it's real. So what we're doing right now is we're creating a creators portal where you can go in, like upload your work and sell it and create your own store. And this will be ready like later this year. And we'd love to be able to get you involved with it. But from there, it's only going to be like, we're going to start fleshing out more and more functionality. And once we do that, I'd love to, incorporate you again and, see what makes sense and where you would like to see the platform go as far as like our decision making is around the different feature sets we'd like to have.
Yeah, that would be a pleasure, man. Thanks.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, this was awesome. Let's stay in touch. Let's stay engaged on Slack. If you ever have any questions, don't ever hesitate to email me or reach out to me on Slack.
I have one question left. I recorded this stuff on the video. Can I put that online, or is that like no good?
I mean, yeah, if you want. Could you just run it by me first? And then tell me where you're going to post it?
All right, we'll do.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thanks, Garrett.
Yeah, thank you, man. Bye-bye.
Bye.